What up, gang? Carolina Jackpot coming at you. It's Saturday morning. That means it is December 7th, right? 2019. And it's college football championship Saturday. All the conference championship games today, save one, was played last night. I've been looking over the slate really, really hard, and I still can't find my South Carolina Gamecocks anywhere. So that's upsetting. Anyway, moving on from that, last night's matchup, Utah and Oregon, I got it wrong. I didn't do a bold prediction on that one on here, I don't think. But I had Utah winning that game and covering the spread, and they really were the goose that laid a shit egg in that one. That was just disappointing. It really was. A lot of mistakes there by Utah. I think that was kind of uncharacteristic of them, and Oregon takes advantage and comes away with the win in that one. What was it, 37-15? Yeah, disappointing. I went to bet on it when it was 17-0, and like, this thing's over with. Just a bad. Was that not just the crappiest looking atmosphere for a Power 5 championship game that you've ever seen? I mean, it was just, first of all, that stadium is ugly as hell. It's just nasty. I mean, the field's ugly as hell. The place was half empty. Would they have some big sheet or something up in the upper deck over there on one side? I mean, it looked really, really bad on TV. I don't know how long they have a contract there for, but they need to move that out of there. I mean, move it to the Rose Bowl or something. I mean, or maybe, hey, they got a new stadium they're building in Las Vegas, right, for the Raiders. Have it there. That would be cool. That's not happening. That's not a good look. Anyway, Oregon. So now they're a 2-loss team. Where they're 12-2 now, and I guess they'll make a New Year's Six bowl. They'll probably be in the Rose Bowl, but just rough. It's rough for the old Utes. Moving away from that, looking at the Power 5 championship games today. Okay, you got Baylor taking on Oklahoma. Oklahoma is a 9-point favorite, and that game is at the Dallas Cowboys Stadium. I call it the Dallas Cowboys Stadium. I refuse to call it Jerry's World. I think that sounds carnival and goofy, and it's just, well, I don't like the way it sounds. So I'm going to call it Dallas Cowboys Stadium in Arlington. Oklahoma, 9-point favorite. This is the third year in a row that Jalen Hurts has participated in a conference championship game. He's done it twice with Alabama, and now it's doing it here. Last time out, Baylor was up 31-10 at halftime on Oklahoma and let them just absolutely come roaring back in the second half. They won 34-31. Oklahoma actually fumbled into the end zone for one of those drives, so there could have been some points there, and then they fumbled on their own 26-yard line also in the first half of that game, which led to an easy touchdown drive for Baylor. So that final score was actually a lot closer than what it could have been. I think that Oklahoma is just a team that has a little bit more experience here in this championship type level atmosphere. Matt Rule, the coach at Baylor, there is some talk there about him with some head coaching jobs. There's a little bit of talk that I saw of him concerning the Carolina Panthers head coaching opening. So that would definitely be interesting. I think that Baylor's little run comes to an end here. I think Oklahoma steps on the gas and they win this game. I think they cover, and I think it might start getting a little ugly. Last week's win over Kansas for Baylor was nice and all, but we're not playing Kansas today. Give me Oklahoma points in that one to win. Big Ten championship game. Wisconsin, 2-loss team, right? Taking on Ohio State. Undefeated, has just literally wiped the slate clean this year, obliterated almost everyone they played except for Penn State, so that one was somewhat close. To be played in Indianapolis, I can't even remember what the line is on this one. I think it's like 21. Maybe it's 18. I'm not sure, but at any rate, last time they played, Wisconsin was thought of to have one of the best defenses in the country, probably the best defense. And then they went out the week before this game. I think they kind of got caught looking ahead a little bit, and they lost at Illinois. Next week they followed up, going the road to the Shoe, and they absolutely get murdered, 38-7. This time around, I'm not sure that it's going to be a whole lot different, to be honest with you. I mean, what's changed? I mean, what's really changed to make that to make you think that the result would be different? They're changing venues that they're playing in. Oklahoma State's won every, or Oklahoma State. Stop it. Ohio State has won in every venue they played in this year. Destroyed everybody. Michigan was able to move the ball through the air on them a little bit last week. That ain't going to be the case today. I mean, they're in championship mode. I think they shut Wisconsin down. I think Justin Fields has another really good day at the quarterback position, and they roll forward with the number 1 ranking into the college football playoff. Give me the Ohio State Buckeyes to cover here. I think this one's over pretty quick. 4 o'clock over on CBS, of course, you have the SEC championship game. LSU is currently, I think that's moved to, it's currently a 7-point favorite over the Georgia Bulldogs. I mean, you got to think Georgia's got a little bit of advantage here for playing. LSU hasn't played in this game since 2011, and Georgia's been here. This is the 3rd year in a row. This is a de facto home game for Georgia. Say what you want to about Atlanta being where Georgia Tech is. Atlanta is 95% Georgia Bulldog. So LSU, the knock on them has been that they have a bad defense. I mean, but do they really? This year, talking about Georgia, they're going to run the ball at them. We know that. Two of their best receivers, the George Pickens kid, will be suspended for the first half, and Lawrence Cager, he's injured. He'll be out of there. Both of them combined about for 1,000 yards catching the ball, right, this year. That's pretty significant when you're an offense that doesn't throw the ball a whole lot. They gave up some rushing yards a few weeks ago to Ole Miss. Everybody points to that Ole Miss game. But I mean, they gave up a lot of yards rushing to an option-style quarterback. Run a lot of them zone reads, that type of stuff. Jake Fromm's not out there running any zone reads, okay? So, but other than that, they had shut teams down. Nobody had averaged or nobody had gotten over 100 yards of offense or rushing the ball on them, or they were averaging under 100 yards rushing a game, is what I mean to say. In the rest of their games, if you take that Ole Miss stat out of there, knowing that they're not going to face this weird type of offense that they saw against Ole Miss, I think that LSU will eventually start shutting the Bulldogs down. Defensively, I just don't think this is a good matchup for Georgia. I think that we'll see an offense like this year. I think LSU covers the spread here and wins by double digits myself. That's just my take on that one. And the final game of the afternoon, we already talked about this one once. The Taters taking on my Virginia Cavaliers in Charlotte's Bank of America Stadium, the home of 2 Super Bowl participants, Carolina Panthers. You know, you look back at this game, since Clemson's been playing this thing every year since 2015, they're averaging over 40 points a game. Okay, of those 4 games they played, they covered the spread 3 times. The only time they didn't cover the spread was against Virginia Tech, I believe, back in 2016. I was listening to a sportscaster today, and they were talking about, they were actually talking about, I still wasn't a sportscaster, it was a podcast, but we're talking about these championship games. We're talking about how the Pac-12 needed to move out of that Levi's Stadium thing, which, I mean, if you have eyes and you watch a football game, you can see that. How they need to move out of that. And they said, these other conference championship games, they move around a little bit. They're like, I don't think the SEC championship game is always played in Atlanta. I'm like, yeah, it is. When was it? It wasn't in, 1992. They played in Birmingham, and they played there for a few years, but I think it's always been pretty much in Atlanta there. Pretty much has, except for when they were building this. And then he went on to say, and the ACC moves theirs around as well. I don't think that, I think they have it in Charlotte some years, but no, they don't. They have it in Charlotte every year. That's where it's been at every year. They had it in Orlando in 2016 because North Carolina didn't want to sign the bill to let cross-dressers go in there and pee-pee in the bathroom with the boys or pee-pee in the bathroom with the girls. So they finally caved so they wouldn't offend anybody, I think like a year later. But that game was in Orlando, the Taters and Virginia Tech. Just so I'm correcting people out there. Carolina Jackpot's out here correcting these fools that are doing this stuff for a living. Crazy. Anyway, Virginia runs a 3-3-5 defense, so that could give Clemson a little bit of an issue, maybe initially, because Trevor Lawrence hadn't seen that type of defense yet. They haven't played Virginia in a long time, and the last time they did, they were a total shit show, and it was like 2 coaches ago. But Clemson's not afraid to go over the top against you, and if you look at the past 5-6 games, Virginia's given up a ton of points, a ton of passing yards, and I attribute that to the absence of Bryce Hall, the all-everything cornerback that got injured. That was just a huge blow for them. Clemson's going to stretch the field on them vertically. You don't have to worry about a bunch of swing passes and a bunch of stuff out of the backfield with Clemson. I mean, they're going to throw the ball down the field. T. Higgins, Justin Ross is going to throw it. ETN, boom. I see them scoring a lot of points here. I see them scoring a lot of points. The only thing that Virginia has that I think can kind of save face with them is can Bryce Perkins give Clemson some problems? Because this is the type of quarterback that they haven't seen. So 28.5 points is the spread on it. That's a lot of points to cover. They've won the past 2 ACC championship games 48-10. Wasn't it last year? 48-10, 40 something like that against Pittsburgh. They covered the spread and blew them out. Pittsburgh didn't need to be there, to be honest with you. The year before, the team that really did need to be there, the Miami Hurricanes, they beat them like 38-3. I mean, it was over before it even got started. So looking at how they play in these things, Dabo was playing that little crybaby card again after the South Carolina game, talking about what have we done if we'd have lost this game today? I mean, they'd moved us down 20. They don't want us here. They don't want you here. Always got some kind of motivational something. Always some little quip, some little BS. I think he's got a book that he pulls his shit out of. The book of Daboisms. Anyway, I'm going to change my pick here. What I did from there. I think the Tigers cover the spread. I think they do. I think they win it by about 35 points. I think they blow Virginia out. Defensively, Clemson hadn't seen a quarterback like Bryce Perkins, but then again, Virginia hadn't faced an offense like Clemson's this year, and then the ones that they have, like Liberty and Virginia Tech, they gave up a ton of passing yards to them. So I don't think it's a good spot for them. I really don't. I think this is Clemson's venue, their specialty, and I think they'll take the win here. All right, guys. I will see y'all later. Appreciate it. Peace. And I'm out. Go Cavaliers.